Well, let's get some more reaction to this deal. We're delighted to be joined by former Arsenal striker and Sky Sports commentator Alan Smith. Morning to you, Alan. A record transfer now between these two British clubs for Rice. I mean, how happy are you that they've got him over the line?
Yeah, really happy, Hayley. You know, it dragged on a bit, didn't it? But listen, he's a very good player. He's one of the best in the world, I think, in his position of his age. And his age is obviously important. He's got his best years ahead of him. He'll be an addition to the dressing room, not just with his ability, I think, but with his personality, his character. He's a lively boy. He'll add to it. And I mean, if you're Arsenal now, Hayley, and you want to improve, you want to take the next step, you've got to be going for players of this calibre. And that means paying out a lot of money. But I don't think he'll need much bedding in time. You know, it's not like a lad coming from overseas, getting used to the Premier League, getting used to a new country. He's just moving across London. And the fact, I think, that Arsenal were able to attract him says a lot about what Mikel Arteta's done and where people see the club going now. It's on the up. It's a club that people want to be part of, that journey, if you like. It's a very attractive place to be at the moment. Word gets around quickly, doesn't it? Declan would have spoke to the boys with England, you know, the likes of Bukayo Saka, Ramsdale. You know, what's it like there? What's Arteta like? And he clearly wanted to come. So it's a real bonus. It's a real coup, let's say, for Arsenal, I think.
It is, considering could have favoured a move to Manchester City off the back of winning the treble, of course. Could have gone and played under one of the best managers, if not the best manager at the moment, in Pep Guardiola. Why do you think he chose Arsenal and Mikel Arteta?
Well, it seemed that Arsenal offered more money from the outside looking in. It looked that way. City seemed to come to the party a bit later than Arsenal. Yeah, not many people turned down City, but if West Ham weren't going to accept the price that City were offering, obviously they're out of the ball game. No, I mean, we've always looked at Declan as a Chelsea boy, haven't we? Before West Ham, when he came through the ranks with the likes of Mason Mount and Reece James, and we wondered if he'd go to Stamford Bridge. Well, they've bought quite a few players in the recent past, and so that complicated matters. But there's a place there for him. Obviously, Granit Xhaka's left, and he'll move straight into that side. And as I say, I think he'll settle really quickly. It was a great way for him to leave West Ham. Not many players can leave on good terms these days, you know. And I think he's managed to do that. He gave it his absolute all, and as King Kev just said, he left winning the European trophy. So that was brilliant. You couldn't wish for a better end to a career and to wave goodbye to the fans in that fashion. So now it's a new chapter in his career, and I think it'll be an exciting one, and hopefully it'll be one with a bit of silverware along the way.
Yeah, do you think that's what made him choose Arsenal and feel like he says, you know, he wants another challenge? He's won silverware, of course, with West Ham. His final game, as you mentioned there, as captain, winning silverware, that's what the aim is at Arsenal. How likely do you think that will be?
Well, listen, they were title contenders last year, weren't they, right up until the end? And they should be again this coming season, as well as the Cups and obviously Champions League football, which is a big pull for any player. So, yeah, they've obviously got a bit more chance than West Ham of winning more silverware. So that would have been, you know, all good players or ambitious players, and they want to win trophies. That would have been at the forefront of his thinking. And, you know, there's no reason why Arsenal can't mount a title challenge in the way that they did last season. I think they're stronger. They will be stronger this year with Havertz coming in and Timber from Ajax. You know, they've got that extra strength in depth, which you need for the Champions League, especially. It's just going to be interesting how he fits in, you know, into that midfield, and with Havertz as well coming into the equation, Thomas Partey in there. How Arteta sees the shape of that midfield, but you know, Rice is going to be at the forefront of Arteta's mind, definitely.
And we know he was named West Ham captain at just 23, and given, you know, Xhaka's departure to Bayer Leverkusen, is that leadership the key attribute Arsenal were needing?
It helps, doesn't it? It helps. He is one of those boys that's a natural leader. He talks a lot on the pitch. Obviously, Odegaard at Arsenal is a different sort of captain. He leads by example more. He's a quieter boy. And I don't think there's any reason why they would take the armband off Odegaard after having a sensational season. But Rice, you don't have to wear the captain's armband in order to offer leadership in that dressing room before half-time and after games. He'll be a big voice in there, and a sensible voice. And that's what any manager would want. I remember Tony Adams, who was given the captaincy at Arsenal at the age of 21. And, there's a few raised eyebrows amongst the lads because of his age. But even at 18, 17, he was acting like a captain. And I think Declan Rice is of a similar vein. That's just his character.
I mean, he's had plenty of experience in Europe. What about Champions League and what he'll be stepping up to that? He'll be absolutely relishing the prospect, won't he?
He certainly will, yeah. He certainly will. And, it's not going to be a level of football that's going to surprise him or be too much for him. He's an established England international, so that helps a great deal. And he's in amongst some very talented players, isn't he? And once he gets to know their styles and what they want, the positions that they take up, it won't take him too long. He's an intelligent footballer. Then he's going to be part of a team that, he's going to be a force in the Champions League. We'll wait and see what group they get drawn into. But it's great that Arsenal are back in at the top table of European football, and Declan Rice will be champing at the bit to get going at that level.
Yeah, he absolutely will. Away from Rice, we're hearing that Liverpool have now received a £40 million offer from Al Ittihad for Fabinho. The Brazil international has been given permission to have a medical there. What do you make of that news? And how big a blow would it be for Liverpool to lose him?
Yeah, obviously, like a lot of his teammates, he didn't enjoy the best of seasons last year, but he's been so instrumental in Liverpool's success over the last few years. So that would be a blow, but it was that midfield that's been totally rebuilt, isn't it? Talk of Henderson going as well, but Fabinho, he's a really good player, very intelligent player, doesn't always catch the eye. He does things so smoothly that it can go unnoticed at times. But, Saudi Arabia are coming for all the big players, and there aren't too many that are turning down the money that's being offered. So we're living in a different world now with another player in the world market in terms of the Saudis. So it certainly spices it up a bit.
It absolutely does. Alan, thank you very much indeed.